All right, welcome back to Dave's Gamers Anonymous, Episode 2, Part 2. My audio crapped out. I was talking, I noticed, then after a while, I noticed nobody hear me. So this has happened before where the audio just completely shuts out for me, where I couldn't change my mic over to my default mic, couldn't do nothing. I clicked the camera off, and I just wanted to add something I had to do, and then it shut my mic off. That was it. But we're back. Going back on a little bit more about Battlefield. Have we got everything out about Battlefield? Oh, I didn't say my part, but anything else you guys want to say about Battlefield 1 beta?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
The whole comparison. One thing I want to say too. Do you guys think? Now I know I'm pretty sure Grim said this, and I've heard others say it. If Grim didn't say it, I could be wrong, but I know I heard others say this. Does it look kind of identical to the Star Wars Battlefront, how they hold the guns and everything, or
How they hold the guns?
like Grim? Weren't you the one saying that? How like the models of everything is just basically identical?
On what?
Battlefront to Battlefield 1 beta.
Oh yeah, Battlefront and Battlefield One, Battlefront, right? Felt different enough from Battlefield 4 and Hardline. I don't know why people said that those were identical, but Battlefield One is like pretty much a reskin of Battlefront. That's what it feels like and plays like, and it looks the damn same.
Now, I noticed when you die, how they zoom out a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Battlefront. I have to agree. I do. I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything. I thought it would be a little bit better than it was. I've said this in my video. We're lucky with these shooters if we even get an improvement from the last one. Not, I always, for some reason, expect them to take shit to the next level. But I think it's not bad. I agree with a lot what Thanos said, how it's like more lighter the game. I see what he's saying. It's not so much like realistic, like how Thanos was saying with the Battlefield 4, how when you shot the gun you felt the kick, and like even the sniping. You know how you snipe on the other Battlefield, how you do the you measure it and shit, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not in Battlefield 1, right?
Where you gotta like do
You gotta measure it for how the bullet goes.
yeah. There's bullet drop. Yeah, that's
You got that. I didn't notice it in that one. I didn't really use the sniper too much. I used it once and I didn't notice it.
yeah. I've been sniping. Bullet drop is still there, and
Oh,
lethal
okay, so
shots
it
is
is
still
there.
there. Yeah.
I
Now,
just didn't see
now
it.
I know in Battlefield 4 there are certain scopes that have like actual measurements on them. I don't think Battlefront has those scopes, but you still have to like anticipate a shot. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, do you guys think this is what? I mean, is this what they were showing at E3, like how they had it out to be, or like you guys?
From what I remember, you're doing the same thing now. Obviously, it don't look nowhere near as good as that video did,
That's
but
They
what I'm
lied.
saying.
They lied.
That's what I'm saying, Grim. Does it look like what they demonstrated? Like it was going to be like trench wars. You're fighting in the trench with a shovel, and the planes are going over you. Like it looks so intense. And I will say there was a part where I was playing the beta, and I'm walking, and a fucking plane just crashed in front of me. That looked cool, but that was like one time it happened, But I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I think with me with shooters when it comes to first person shooter multiplayer. I played so many of them there. To me, it's kind of becoming a fighting game now. It's like the next fighting game, the next shooter. I don't see them raising the bar anymore to these games.
I would agree.
It's not bad. It's not
Like
bad.
for instance, the animation, it's laughable. Like especially when they're going up the ladder and you have a scope on them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not what they were like kind of showing. That's the only thing I'm disappointed by.
That could be like the single player. You know what I mean? Because on multiplayer, they dumb down the graphics a whole lot just so we can get that 60 FPS. But on the multiplayer, I don't even know if it's official if we're gonna get 30 FPS or 900p on on 60, whatever. But usually the single player looks much better than the multiplayer. And then on top of that, the map that they selected, which is Sahara Desert. It's a fucking desert, you
Yeah.
know. So it's not a whole lot to look at, you know. But
Well, I have a question. I know what answer I'm probably gonna get, but I'm just gonna ask it anyways. Would you guys rather them do the 30 frames and have a better looking game, or 60 frames and have what we got now?
60.
Oh, you want the 60? Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I would rather have 60, but honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. All right. Well,
Grim is like the only person that he actually performs better when he's in the 20s. When he's in like 20s, you better fucking run. Like he got eyes, man.
one more thing to do with Battlefield, the map sizes. I know people have been complaining about that. The maps are too big. What do you guys think?
Well, we were talking about this earlier. I think we were offline though. Is that it depends on where you're playing it at. On console, I feel the maps are too big because the way the console gamers play, they don't move around. They don't use the entire map. They just use normally a section. And on this beta, they're using basically the area where all the buildings are. So everything else, when you go over there to capture a point, you're normally running into either no enemies or one or two guys that just spawn
Mhm.
in or something. And it feels when you go from point to point to point, it feels empty. You stay where the action is, then it feels right. On PC, I think it's 64 players on PC, right? It's no more players.
Yeah.
So if it's still the same amount of players, it's just the PC guys. Some will go to a base and just stay over there the whole game. Some will make it their mission to defend this one base. So if you go anywhere, it's action. So it don't feel that big. But on console, it feels big because there's nothing going on when you go to like some of these outside areas.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I played Rush for the first time on this beta. I never played it on Battlefield 4. I usually stick to Conquest and some other mode I play. I forgot the name of it. But Rush I never played, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was cool how you could set the bomb up, and I noticed that whenever I would go set the bomb up, there would never. Sometimes there'd be nobody there to plant the bomb, or there'd be like two people there, or something like that. It was never like it didn't seem like they had any strategy going on or anything. But for the most part, it's another Battlefield game. That's the way I'm looking at it. Will I get it? I don't know. I'm not 100. Maybe it's I don't like the map that we're playing on. I don't care for the map. Maybe if I had a map. See, with Battlefield 4, I liked all the maps. I even like the DLC maps. This map, I don't care for. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's not a bad map. It's not but I don't really like it. It's not like I don't know. That can really hurt my multiplayer experience if I don't like maps. Like with Ghost, I hated all the maps. I never played a game to where you never wanted to vote on a map in Call of Duty at all. Like
Yeah.
Because they all suck.
yeah, I just never had that experience. That's why I didn't like Ghost. It wasn't Ghost was a bad game. It's just I didn't like any of the maps, and that can,
Halo 5 is like that. Like Halo 5's gameplay, great. I love the improvements with Halo 5. Two maps I like the most. All of the other ones is like I don't really like these maps.
yeah. But what's up, Pokemon, Super Mario Pokemon nerd, the best hitman, and Afterlife Battlefront. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties. My mic crapped out. But yeah, Battlefield 1. I'm not saying it's just to me. Maybe it's the map I'm not liking. I gotta see what happens when the actual game comes out. I'm not sure if it's the day one buy anymore. Before it was a day one buy because I really loved Battlefield 4. That's when I got into the whole Battlefield series. I played Battlefield 3 a little bit, but I didn't like it on consoles. I didn't like the graphics looked awful. Like I didn't like it. Battlefield 4 it looked real good, played good. I liked that game a lot. Hardline wasn't bad to me, but I know a lot of people don't like it. They just said it was DLC. But this one I got to see some other maps and stuff. Now Titanfall. What's your thoughts about Titanfall? I know most of all of us played Titanfall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what's to me? This is just to me. I would say Titanfall. This Titanfall is the same Titanfall I played. I only played the other one a little bit, but I remember it pretty good. It's just we have a grappling hook now and some other stuff. And to me, it's like I like the Titans. I think they're pretty cool. But if you're not in a Titan, it seems like you really ain't doing much sometimes. It's like those Titans are really destroying shit. You know, when you get in them, you really can fuck some shit up. When on the ground you can, but it's just like I think I don't know. I just thought the Titans were kind of like overpowered. I guess. What do you guys think? Is that just me or?
Well, when I was playing the game modes I played, didn't even really have Titans in it. Like I played some of the modes that had Titans in it, and at first, when everybody was like, "Oh, it's so different," I was like, "What the fuck you talking about? This plays fucking the same."
Yeah,
I went back to Titanfall 1, and it does play very the same. But I got some of the things they were saying. Like some people were like, "The Titans aren't the same," as in how they drop. They were like, "It's like a kill streak." I don't agree with that at all. It's not like a kill streak. But it is a Titanfall 1. You can literally spawn in, and your Titan's already there. It's already ready to go. You know, and it was based upon time. And your time would shorten the more kills you got and the more points you scored. And it's the same for Titanfall 2, except for in Titanfall 2, it took a long time. Now, I didn't play the second part of the beta where they supposedly increased the time, so I don't know how that was. But when I played the first one, it was slow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the biggest difference for me. And the maps are, because there's no bots really, it doesn't feel as much of a war. I know a lot of people were saying that too. And I understand that as well because it just feels more of more empty than
Oh
before.
shit! So it feels like the bots are not so invasive as they were in the first one.
There was only one mode, Bounty Hunter, that I remember that had bots in it. The other modes didn't have bots, and the bots in Bounty kind of spawned in almost like if you ever play Halo 5. They got a mode on there called Warzone, and sometimes bots spawn in on Warzone. And when I mean sometimes, I mean sometimes. Like that's how it was. The bots weren't there in Bounty. They would just sometimes would be there, sometimes they wouldn't be. And they would spawn in. You could see them spawn in like coming from a ship, and once you wipe them out, they wouldn't spawn in until the next couple of minutes. Like they were consistent in the first Titanfall. They were always there, but not in this one, not in the second one.
All right. What do you guys think about the grappling hook? Do you like that feature? Or?
It looked cool in the trailers. The shit, I never got like it would work somewhat, but it wouldn't like pull me in. If anything, it just kept me on track to wall run where I was going. It didn't like did it ever pull you to where you wanted to go? Maybe I was pressing the wrong button. It didn't do
Sometimes
that.
Sometimes it did. Sometimes it did.
Yeah, other times it just
You
hooked
didn't
me
have
on.
that. You didn't have that Spider-Man effect.
Nah, it basically what it would do is when I hooked onto something, right? Like if I hooked onto a tall building, I was expecting it to pull me. It wouldn't pull me as much as if I jumped in midair. I would swing a little, like so. I was like maybe I have to swing with it or something. I don't know what the hell.
So it's not like a swing per se, like let's say Just Cause 3 then, right? Or just
I was assuming it was kind of like Batman's grappling hook. You zoom and you click it and then you just fly up, right? It don't work like that. It's more of it's a rope that hooks. And if you have some momentum and you jump and you've come off a building, you'll kind of like swing on a rope a little bit. Like that's what it felt like I had to do.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think about it, Dirty? What's your thoughts on the whole Titanfall 2 stress test?
It still remind me of the first Titanfall. It played pretty good. I enjoyed it. The grappling hook, I had forgot about it, and once I remembered it, I tried it a couple of times. Like I was running, and there was like a big gap, so I ran and just jumped and hit the grapple, and sometimes it'll pull you up, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll pull you up, and you may have to like jump or double jump to grab the ledge. But a couple of times it did like pull me to where I had to grapple at. Like I was on top of a tower, so I was running and I shot. I wasn't aiming for the tower, but it hit the tower and it pulled me all the way up there. And what I was standing on top of the satellite dish that was at the top. So I was sniping people from up there. I was getting like 6-7 kills before somebody realized like there's a dude up there on the tower. Like how the hell did he get up there? It was that grappling hook that got me up there. I wasn't even aiming for it, but it pulled me up there, and I was taking a couple of people out before somebody came came from behind and shot up there and shot me. So the grappling hook works sometimes, sometimes it don't. I guess depending on how you run or jump to use it, I have no idea. But I mean, it still kind of remind me of the first Titanfall, and it is, to me, it seemed like when you kill, your percentage goes up for the Titan to come out. It's not like they working on the Titan in the first one when you can see it was like, you know, it's shaded out, but then it's lighting up because of the time. It seemed like the more I killed and I looked at my Titan percentage, it went up. So I think that's what a lot of people were saying. It was like a kill streak, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I got to get so many kills in order for it to reach 100%. And once it did, you know, I can call it out anyway. Even if I die, it's still there. It's still ready for me to call out. So it was something like a kill streak to me. It's like you get so many kills. It don't have to be in a row, but every time you kill, the percentage of your Titan went up. So that's how they got it, where you have to mainly kill people in order for the Titan to come out. So the faster you kill, the faster your Titan is going to come out.
Okay. What about you, Frozen On? Did you try Titanfall or no?
Yeah, I played it. It was full of campers when I played it. I played the mode with the players, with just the pilots. Then I played the one with the bots. I didn't play the first one, but it feels like Black Ops 3 to me.
Okay.
Which could
Now,
be a weird bad thing, I guess, because it's made by the people that they were Call of Duty devs originally. So
my biggest problem with Titanfall, I liked it actually, to tell you the truth. My biggest problem is that invite system. Was that invite system in the first one? I can't remember because I only played a little bit of it.
I don't know. I never invited anybody to either version. I don't know.
Yeah, I just didn't like this whole you had to make a lobby, and then when I made a lobby or Procrastination made a lobby, we couldn't join. I don't understand in 2016 why we have to go through this when you have games like Call of Duty that have a perfect invite system, and they're not like taking notes from them, and they take a lot of notes from Call of Duty.
What were you playing on? PS4, Xbox?
I was playing on the PS4.
Well, I know on the Xbox, you could just go over someone's name and join their game. Like I know, but that's the Xbox system. That's not the game.
Yeah.
PlayStation is weird. Like I'll see like someone playing Battlefield 4 or Hardline, and I'm like, oh, like I want to join them. I can't even do it. It just says I can watch them play. I can't jump in the game. It's
Yeah,
really
I
weird.
used to be able to do that on certain games. I could join like that, like I do on Xbox. But I'm just saying, whether, you know, that's the system, so that actually would be a good thing about the Xbox. It allows you to do that. But I'm just saying the game itself, even with the game I like, UFC 2, I have to invite somebody constantly to play a match with them. I can't just stay in a lobby with them and just play. I have to keep sending invites after each match. I noticed this with a lot of different games, even Street Fighter 5. That is the worst invite system I've ever seen. Period. It's horrible. But I noticed with Titanfall they don't have a very good invite system, and I'm like, why would a guy that's a co-creator of Call of Duty, you know, not have a good invite system? I just don't understand it. That's my biggest flaw with that game. I thought it was fun. I liked the beta. I enjoyed that beta more than the Battlefield. But it's to me, to be fair, it's another shooter. It's just another, you know, it's, I don't know. But that was my biggest problem with it, you know. I never had an issue with the bots. Even when I played the first one, which I didn't play a lot of the first one, but I never had an issue with the bots. Everybody didn't like the bots. The Titans seem cool when you get in them. I didn't find it very hard to get a Titan. You know, I got a Titan a decent amount of times. I liked the pilot mode. That was cool. I liked Bounty Hunter. I think Bounty Hunter is my favorite mode. But it's pretty good for the most part. Well, moving on from that, any more on Titanfall?
Hey, I didn't get my opinion.
Oh, did you? Okay, your opinion.
Well, I didn't actually play Titanfall 2, but I saw enough videos, and we all know in this community we can review games that we haven't played. So I just want to say that.
Well, I just want to question. No. Let's give a question on that. So when you see a game, like let's say you get a majority of games that come out, and say there's one game you just seen a lot of, like I'll use No Man's Sky as an example. I seen that game enough from Bear watching his shit and everybody else's. I know I won't like it, but I can give a good opinion about what I'm seeing. Um, I don't think I'm gonna feel any different if I play that game. I really don't.
No, no, like that's it's like well, for instance, let's do it with something that everyone's done it with, movies. I've seen trailers to movies that
Mhm.
I would never pay for to go see, or even if it's on cable, free. I wouldn't see it. And there's been times my wife said, come check it out. Like I'm not checking it out. She goes, come check it out. I'm like, okay. And we go see the movie, and I end up enjoying it. I hated the trailer, but the movie was really good.
Mhm.
So.
Well, but there's a But now the thing is, though, with gameplay, if I'm watching Bear's stream, I'm actually seeing him play the game. I'm not looking at a trailer to do with the game, though. I'm actually seeing him go through certain parts of the game, and it depends on how much you watch of it. But I've watched a lot of Bear's live streams because me and him have this little bet going on, and I just
Yeah,
monitoring his shit. But
yeah, you can see him play it, right? And then you can have an opinion, like you can. I mean, how many times we've seen games you're like, I'm not getting it because you just don't like the aesthetics of the game, even.
mhm.
So that's fine. Like no one can ever deny you that or take that away from you. But the question is it fair to say that you can review a game that you haven't played?
Oh well, now that's a different.
I
That's
think
a
I think I think you can if you tell them. If I sat here and said I'm going to do a review on Record, I'm not buying Record, I'm not getting, I'm reviewing it based upon the things I've seen of it. You let the viewer know or the reader know if it's a written review. I think that's fine, I guess.
A review's a different story, but if you give an opinion about a game, I would have to say you can give an opinion of what you've seen or what what you know. But a review, I would think you'd have to play the game.
Well, I mean, if you a review is an opinion. There is
Well,
no
no,
difference.
an actual solid review would be you having to play the game, I think.
What I do is I give a first impressions, and then when I beat the game, I do the review.
I think you can give an opinion of what you're seeing. That's fine. But I think if you were going to go into how the gameplay is, or if you like, what type of review are you talking, Grim?
I'm talking about if I sat here and got a game, right, and I didn't like the shit at all, and I couldn't finish it, and I want to do a review on that, I would let my viewers know, hey man, I bought this dog shit game. No, I didn't finish it. It was trash. But I would let you know that,
But you would tell them, but you would have experience with the controls and stuff like
yeah,
that.
like, or if I sat here and like no one has really ever done it. If they have done it, they lie. You know what I'm saying? Has anyone honestly sat here and said, I'm gonna do a review on something I never played, but I'm a review based upon the things I see of it, right? No one is ever like the only thing you've seen is someone lying saying they played it, but all they did is watch. If someone honestly came out and said, hey, I never played the game. I'm reviewing it based upon the things I've seen on it, whether it be live streams and other people's reviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to try it and see how people react to it.
Oh.
Some people may not have a problem with that. If you let them know, they may be like, "Oh,
Well, fuck it. Let's make it more complicated. What about if you put 2 hours in a 50-hour game and decided to call it a review?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
like
that.
I just saw a dude. Xbox gave away this RPG, right? That looks pretty cool. I downloaded it, I haven't played it yet. They gave away free with gold. It's called Everlock. I looked to see if there were any reviews on it. Only one person I saw do a review on it. The guy talked about the game. He played some of it, and he even said at the end he hasn't beat the game. I mean, I can't get mad at that. He told me he didn't beat it. So basically, his review is based upon the experience that he's had up until wherever he stopped and decided to do the review.
But how would you feel if he didn't mention that part?
If he didn't mention that part, well then I would feel that he didn't tell me the whole truth. Or especially if he said something like he beat the motherfucker. Then you're just lying at that point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have that here in this community where people say they review games that they haven't played, and they make sure that they lead the intention that they did play it when they haven't. Or we also have people on here that play such a small fraction of the game, but they have a full opinion and a full review on it. You know,
Or
so
they won't even play the game. They'll listen to someone else's review and then review that review.
Like for
yeah,
example, a lot of people feel that if within the first um so many hours of a game, if the game is not enjoyable, then it's just garbage, you know. And somebody might want to do a review on something. What are they supposed to like? All right, I'll give you a prime example, right? Look at me, right? I did a review on Fallout 4, most infamous review I ever did. I put 100 and some hours in that game, and I gave it a 3. Well, at first I gave it a 6, but I kept playing. It got the performance got worse. I gave it a 3, right? People said, "Well, Grim, how could you give this game a low score when you put this much time in it?" But when I say, well, when other reviewers, you know, put little to no time into something, and they give you a full opinion on something, I put all the time in it. Now I'm getting like, you know, criticized because I put a lot of time in something. You don't win either way. People are gonna, you know, find some reason why what you just did was wrong or whatever. So at that point, I just say, you know, fuck it, you know, just do whatever you're gonna do, and however people take it, that's just how they take it when it comes to stuff like that. Because if you put no time in something, someone will say you didn't put enough time in it. You put too much time in it, they'll say, how can you not like it? You put all this time in it.
Well, most of the people we go to for reviews, especially like, GameSpot, IGN, Digital Foundry, they don't never beat the full game. They just play part of the game, and some of them will tell you they only played part of the game. But they still have their opinion, and they still give it a score, and it's up to you if you like what you heard from this one individual. That's all. That's all it comes down to. This person did not play it. You got people on YouTube who may have played the game for like an hour, and they already got their judgment. It either sucks or they like it.
Well, I think that goes along with people wanting to get their review up so quick to beat everybody out, beat
Yeah,
people
that's
to the punch.
yeah. I can definitely agree with you on that.
I seen one time. I'm not gonna name his name because he's a friend of mine, but I have to call him. He was in the wrong on this one. He did a Destiny review right off the rip. Like he wanted to get a review out there, and he didn't even hardly play the game, and he was caught for it. But then he went back and took the video down, then changed it to a first impression. But people want to get that review out there. That's what it is. They want to beat IGN because it's so hard to beat them guys because they get the game first. I think it all falls under what you consider, like the person. I consider somebody has to play the game to give a full-on review. Now, if the game was just so damn awful, in your opinion, as long as you say that and do a review, that's fine. But I think there's a difference from an opinion about a game, which you see, like what I'm saying with Bear and No Man's Sky, to an actual review. For me, but I think it's everybody's opinion.
Like reviews are opinion based. Reviews do have facts in it from time to time again. Like if I say, oh, I'm playing a first person shooter, obviously if it's a first person shooter, that's a fact. But my opinion on a game is heavily ingrained in a review. That's why it was hilarious when people were telling me you need to do a what's the word, what's the word Thanos?
thorough.
Nah, not thorough. It's a word that basically means it's not an opinion. What the hell do they call that shit? It's not bias. It's I'm gonna think about it later, and we're gonna be off the topic. I already know. It's a fucking damn it, I can't think of it.
Impression?
No. It's a word that basically contradicts what a review is because a review is an opinion. It's a fuck, I can't remember. Everybody says it around here in this community, but I can't think of it right now. When I think of it, I'll say it.
All right. Well, anything else on this subject? Besides
No.
what Grim's thinking of?
Yeah. Whatever I think of it, I'll say what I was gonna say, but I can't think of it right. Damn it, this fucking sucks. I can't think of what the name of the shit is.
But I do agree that 2016 we shouldn't even be talking about that. Having connection problems or you going through multiple steps in order to connect with a friend. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Titanfall, It shouldn't be complicated to get into a friends match with your friend. Like I play with procrastination all the time in games. I should have no problem at all connecting to them in a multiplayer-based game. no issues.
Is
And
it?
it's like it don't make sense to me. It don't.
Oh,
Not in
yeah,
this.
Dave, that Street Fighter thing is still like that. Like if you
And
live stream,
that's awful. Like that
if
is
you
the
live
worst.
stream on Street Fighter, if you live stream Street Fighter and you invite somebody, it'll shut off your live stream.
Yeah, and that's the other thing it does. It shuts your fucking live stream off. We
It
have
still
certain
does it.
games that do that. Like that. Well, that ain't too bad for me. The shutting off the live stream, even though it is bad, that's something new because it's live streaming. I'm just talking about the simple friends invite. That should not be the case in 2016. No questions asked. They like to copy off of games, copy off of Call of Duty. They take other aspects from it, take its invite system because it works. I mean,
Let's
I
see
don't
their
know.
beta when their beta comes out, how well it works.
And the crazy part of it, Titanfall, that's fucking the guy that was involved in Call of Duty. Why is he? It just don't make sense. It doesn't. Not when you had games that were like Gears of War, and games have been going on forever that have invite systems that work. I don't get it. But next,
I think was it is it objective review, Thanos? Don't people
Yeah, objective, I think.
Yeah, you can't be objective in a subjective matter. That's why I was trying to tell people you can't be. If I sit here and do an objective review, that would mean I can only tell you things. I can't give you my opinion on nothing. I would have to literally sit here and say I'm doing a review on Battlefield 1. It's a shooting game. It's in World War 1. It's made by EA. I can't tell you if it's good or not. That's subjective. I can't tell you anything other than what it is, and that's not even a review. That's like just me listing, I guess, trivia facts about the fucking game. I think that's what I was trying to say is like people want people to do objective reviews that contradicts what a review is.
You're better off just going to Wikipedia.
Yeah, and just reading the back of the box. It'll tell you what the game does. It's a shooting game, and you got online, you got single player, and you got X amount of missions and so many maps. You can get an objective review just reading the box.
yeah, no, can't disagree with you on that. Now, the whole NX with this controller and share feature, people making a big deal about this controller that's going to have a share button like how the PlayStation has. I guess they possibly might be streaming. What do you guys think of that? Could you see Nintendo streaming games?
Well,
like
I don't know if they're gonna do streaming, but I could be crazy. I could be crazy because people say I am, but I could be crazy. I could have sworn the Wii U gamepad was supposed to have some type of share button or something like
They
that.
got a mic on there and a camera. I don't know what those are for.
they're live chat.
Yeah, that live
can-
chat. But
you
the
can share-
then
Your images that you draw on the gamepad. I mean,
no, the Wii U gamepad has some functionality when they first showed it off that was supposed to be like either a share button. It was something you would tap and it would share like a like a screenshot or something on Miiverse. It was something you just had to. I don't remember what it was. Was it on your gamepad those double squares that are just printed there for no reason? I think that was what that was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken. But it doesn't do anything. I could be wrong on that. I think that was what that was, and I don't think they ever implemented anything with it.
Oh, you're talking about on the bottom left?
Yeah, but do you know those double squares that's just there?
Yeah, that's for the amiibo.
That's for the amiibo.
that's the scanner. Yeah.
That's for the amiibo. All right.
I pulled out the gamepad to see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember. I could have sworn they first shut off the Wii U gamepad. They said something about some button that you press and you could just share stuff on Miiverse without going to Miiverse. I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess while everybody's thinking it's going to be like streaming and all that, with Nintendo, how they were kind of opposed to streaming to begin with, I don't know if they're gonna jump into that right away. They should, because streaming is a huge thing. But we see how they are with their rules with YouTube and how you got to be a part of their sponsors or their partnership to share their games. I just don't see how willing they would be just to let people just share off the console like that.
I think they can, since it's their hardware, they can pretty much dictate how it will work and how you would be able to stream. So
yeah, especially I feel like maybe a third party they might not be able to do that.
Them having a weird little guideline behind it, allowing you to do it, but have some Nintendo guideline behind it or something.
Yeah, probably some third party games they might say, oh, you can't stream this. Maybe something like that.
Streaming doesn't come to mind. What comes to mind is like a photo. You share it with your friends, or you share it like on a Miiverse type. I think you're gonna share it on Nintendo's operating system, with people within that community can see whatever. Now, streaming is a whole different thing. That's a whole different beast. So when I think of that share, I think Nintendo is going to be within their infrastructure, within their OS, within their system, within their networks. That's what I
Well, yeah,
think of
it
share.
can mean anything. It don't have to mean streaming like most people think. It can mean like what Halo or what Thanos is saying with how it could be pictures. It could be shit like that.
Or it could be
Yeah.
like on Xbox or on PlayStation, you can like be on Xbox you can like put stuff on Upload Studio, and you can
Yeah.
take that off of there and put it on the internet. But like, let's say Nintendo had their own built-in website thing that just had a bunch of shared videos and streams from the NX.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It could be anything. I mean, people automatically think and share with streaming because streaming's a big thing. Now, do you think that the console should have a streaming thing or no? Or is that like a standard now because these consoles got it? Or
For me, I don't think so. I have an Elgato, so if they don't put it, I'm still gonna be streaming.
Yeah, I don't think it's a standard, but it is a nice feature to have.
I think it's nice to have because when something happens on PlayStation and I don't have the Elgato plug-in, I'm playing Street Fighter and I win a match and I want to record that, I hit the share button, press square, and it records the last 15
you
minutes.
got PlayStation on their next update doing hour gameplay. You can record up to an hour. So I mean that's pretty good. I mean, I don't with Nintendo that ain't gonna make or break me with that. I would like achievements. I would like party chat with the NX. Those two things would be really cool. I'm not a big trophy guy, but I like when I get a trophy or achievement. I like watching it pop up. It's just something I like, and I'm used to it, and I have friends invites and easy friend invites. I like that, and that's the problem on Xbox them too. But party chat, that's a must. I think.
I told you my theory on the NX, right, Dave? Or no?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Give your theory of the NX.
Oh, well, it's a little bit of mostly it contains the rumor, which is the one that is consistent, and that's how it's mobile, it's portable, and all that. Essentially, I think that the Nintendo NX is going to be a tablet where you can actually dock it to your television. Once something is docked, they're able to increase the cores of the GPU or CPU or APU, whatever you want to call it, which is the Tegra 1, and you get that console-like performance. Well, once you take it off the docking station, it becomes portable. It becomes a handheld, which is like that of a laptop. And I think they're not going to keep the traditional handheld DS look. The thing that is, recognized through all the world is a tablet, and I think that's where the side controllers pop on each side of the tablet, and it'll give you the feel of buttons and shit like that. The mechanical part. The tablet's going to be touchscreen and all that. That's where Android fits in. A lot of the Android games could be played easily on a touchscreen tablet. And then on top of that, being that it is a Tegra 1, which is NVIDIA, Nintendo has the opportunity to tap into NVIDIA features such as the NVIDIA Grid. So you can actually play third-party games through NVIDIA Grid onto your tablet. And let me not even get into the possibility where NVIDIA has a feature that if you have like a 750 and up graphics card, you can actually stream your PC games over to your NVIDIA Shield. Well, if that's a Tegra 1, you can launch a game on your PC and just stream it over to your tablet or the Nintendo NX. So, I mean, the possibilities of Nintendo having a partnership with NVIDIA are huge. Now, I'm not saying all those things are going to happen, but at least now that's an option on the table. But if it is a tablet, regardless of whatever Nintendo calls this thing, a fucking hybrid, whatever, if it is a tablet, essentially that means that Nintendo is out of the console business and they're going into the handheld business. That's it. And the reason I would think they would do that is because the only thing through all these years, especially after N64, The only thing that's been very, very, very consistent is the handheld. That thing's never had a bad sale ever. You know, that thing has been consistent, way on top of the charts. So I'm thinking that they're going to take the handheld and they said, let's make this our central gaming hub. You know, and that way they can get to the people that both Sony and Microsoft cannot get to, and that's the mobile guys, people on mobile. And I think if they're going to get out of the console business, because simply because Nintendo, I mean, simply because of Sony and Microsoft, they just dominate that market. No different than Nintendo dominates the handheld portion of the market.
Mhm.
You know, so they're going to be able to reach consumers that Sony and Microsoft cannot. You know, because the way it looks, Sony could have easily have come out with a handheld, but they didn't. Microsoft could have easily come out with a handheld, but they didn't. They both chose VR. You know, so that's my theory on it all. I mean, it could be completely wrong because it's all theory. We just don't know because you know it's Nintendo. You know, Nintendo's fucking really odd. But I don't see why would they come out with an actual dedicated console to be mobile and then come out with a handheld that's also mobile. That just defeats the purpose. You know, that's
Yeah,
what I
no,
think.
I think your theory's pretty good. I could see them doing something like that because they're not doing good in the home console market as much as people that the fans that are still there for the home console market, the very few fans that are still there, they have more of a fan base in handheld, and they know it. Why make another console that's just gonna flop? Yeah, that's of the Wii. And then it went back to where the GameCube was, like with the install base. There's no point to that when you got such an install base going on with the handheld.
You've seen the Direct, right? Most of the Wii U games are being ported to the 3DS.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, and if it ends up becoming a tablet device, then you know they're not going to win any of the hardcore Sony fans or Microsoft fans. They're not going to win them over. But
Mhm.
Nintendo's going to be able to reach into a market that they both Sony and Microsoft cannot reach into. So it might scale, you know, fairly well. You know, so I don't know. Let's see how. We'll just have to wait and see what they ultimately do. But it's very important that Nintendo stays in business, though. Whether you like them or hate them, enjoy them or not, whether you think they're relevant or not, it's still pretty important that they stay within you know the business, you know the video game industry business.
Well, they're not going nowhere, Nintendo. They just may be leaving the home console market, but I do agree. They're whether you like them or hate them, they're not going nowhere. Nintendo's Nintendo. They're going to stay relevant somewhere. But I just think their time in the home console market has passed. I think, in my opinion, that's me. Um, you know, I hoped with the Wii U that there would be, you know, this, you know, Super Nintendo again. I gave it 3 years. I don't know how long you gotta wait with a console for it, just, you know, give it enough time. But I thought 3 years was enough.
Yeah.
I think their market is the handheld, and that's what they do good. Thanks again. Thank you, Geek Essentials, for watching Baltimore MVP. Oh, in the chat. Former Glitch Group, Super Mario Pokemon Nerd, thank you guys, Geek Essentials, Video Game Lover, Joey, uh, OK, I think his name is. I can't see it because my thing's a little small. Mr. Fox, Kazooie, thank you guys. And if you guys have any questions, Joni, any of you guys, the best hitman, let us know. We'll answer them. But yeah, Nintendo, you know, with the whole NX, it's where I was disappointed. I keep hearing every month, oh, they're gonna have a direct about the NX, blah 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 blah, and then I waited all the way till September. They said, oh, September's gonna be it. They're gonna talk about Nintendo, and then it turns into a handheld direct.
Dave, you
And
heard the new
they
rumor?
don't even mention nothing about the NX. Not even like, hey, we're gonna talk about it at a later time. Nothing.
You hear the new rumor, Dave? They're saying it's going to come
3DS.
out. They're saying that the new event is going to be September 14th.
What for the NX now?
Yeah, the reveal.
Now who's saying that?
I think it's gonna be like how I think it's gonna be like this. They ain't gonna talk about this shit, and the shit just gonna be on the shelves. You're gonna go in your local store, and you'll be like, Nintendo NX, what the fuck is this? It's like they're gonna talk about anything.
Well, like from what I last heard from reports of it, from the know, according to question mark, that Nintendo, they're ahead of schedule, so they're planning on a March to 2017 release. Whether we get that, because in this industry, as video gamers, we should know that shit gets delayed, and sometimes by a lot, even a year, even. But that's the last report that I heard in the know that they were ahead of schedule in development, and they're looking at a March 2017 release. So I mean, if that's around the fucking corner,
Yeah, but
they
Thanos
gotta announce
would
something
have.
soon.
When do you think they would have to do the pre-orders for it, though? They usually do that.
Right. Yeah,
And then who knows
they
if they're
gotta
going to
get the
announce
buzz
like
going.
who knows if there's going to be more than one model? They might do two, three
Oh,
models of it.
well, yeah, that is true. They did the deluxe and the white one.
No,
So
I mean like memory models. Like we don't know like launch editions. Like they might do a Zelda NX launch bundle. You don't know what they're going to do.
now Nintendo's biggest problem with the Wii U, but you got to think at the same time it wasn't like these consoles where you had to install a game. But they need more of a bigger hard drive than 32 gigs. I would say at least 50, at least what these consoles are given, if they're going to do it the same way, like where you
I,
don't have to install the game. But if you have to install the game, I'd say at least a terabyte.
Well, it's still running off cartridge, right?
Dave, I've always said
Oh yeah, the cartridge. I keep forgetting
yeah,
that.
if it's an SD card, something again. If it's like it is a tablet, it's something. If it is a tablet, right? I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna go along with it. Fuck it. If it is a tablet, I mean, the footprint that will leave on the store is so fucking tiny. Like there should be like at least 100, Nintendo NX. I mean, if you look at a box of a tablet, it's fucking tiny. It's not as big as a fucking console when you got your Xbox or your PlayStation 4. That package, that footprint is fucking huge in the store. I can't even imagine how small like an SD card. How would you package that tiny little package as a video game? But I've been saying this for a long time too. They should put in a really small hard drive. All three of them, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. Put in a fucking tiny hard drive and let the consumer choose how much they want to spend, on the size of the hard drive. Because if they put a big hard drive, that's going to add to the first additional cost.
Yeah, you might not need all of it.
Right. So because of that hard drive, let's say they do put a terabyte. It went from $299 now it's $399, and you look at $399, you're like, fuck, that's out of my budget. I am not gonna do it. But if they put like a 250 gigs in there, and if for $199, or $299, then you're most likely to buy it. That later on you can upgrade.
Yeah, expandable storage, thumb drives,
Yes.
and such.
Anything that's expandable, let the consumer decide. Put a tiny hard drive in there and let the consumer decide. I know it's kind of, some people say, well, it's inconvenient, I shouldn't have to do any of that, but that's the age we're in. And
Make it where we can get external hard drives and not like Sony.
yes.
Fuck us.
Well, I delete my game. I still have a 500 gig, and I delete.
Well, I'm just saying, Sony made this fucking complicated shit for most people. Don't want to do this.
I know they can do it too. They can do it. I know they can do it.
No, it's not
Wait,
that
it's-
complicated, but the average person like me does not want to do all that shit. Just
Right.
like Xbox, I plug it in, done.
Hold on,
Sony's
is
not gonna do
that still going to be a problem on the Neo?
Is
Did
that
they-
gonna be a problem on the
it-
Slim?
Even on the Slim, I think it's the same way. Like Sony's not doing that. I think for piracy reasons.
Well, that's why they did the memory cards for the Vita, and they overpriced them because of what happened with the PSP. People were hacking.
They overpriced the PSP ones too, but what happened with that was the difference is that they didn't. I don't think they put a patent on those type of cards. So other companies started making them, like Samsung, like Sony. Like I remember, if you wanted a Sony PSP memory card, what was it? Maybe $30 for 250 megabytes,
Hmm.
which is retarded, even for that time period.
Well,
250 megabytes, $40.
Yeah, like I know this is a little bit off topic, Dave, but I asked Grim this not too long ago. Besides, PSN went up $10, right?
Yeah.
And I've been reading the comments that people they're happy. Yeah. We get to give it takes my money, motherfucker. Take it. The question I ask, and asked Grim and everyone in this fucking community, why are we paying for PSN and why are we paying for Xbox Live? The question is why? Not like you favored or whatever it may be. Why are we paying for PSN and why are we paying for Xbox Live?
I can answer that
No.
because I want to
No.
play online on my PlayStation and my Xbox. I gotta pay for online.
Yeah. But
Well, the
why?
thing is where
You,
they get around it, they say, oh, they say, I do agree we shouldn't have to pay. I don't like, that's the one thing I liked about PS3. You didn't have to pay the prescription, but now they're like, oh, we give you these deals and all this, and we're giving you this big bang for your buck. The Xbox says we give you $700 or so worth of games a year, 350 on the Xbox, 350 on the Xbox, or 360 and Xbox One. But at the same time, I don't. What if you don't want that? What if I just want to play online and do party chat? You shouldn't have to pay for that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think they should make you pay. I don't like how they make you pay.
It's their rules, though, their system, and they know they can get
yeah.
away with it.
And let me dismantle an argument where they said, well, if anyone in the comments or later on listening be like, well, I got money, it doesn't hurt me. Rich people don't become rich by throwing money away. Poor people do that. That's why they're fucking poor. So it's not about the money, but essentially the question is, why are we paying PSN for? What type of service are we really getting? Is it that much better than free? And then if you say, well, if someone brings in the argument, well, free games, is it really free?
No.
It's not like you keep them games when you run out of prescription.
And you notice people are trying to dodge that by buying a whole bunch of cards now. Well, really, you're just paying more money now. You know what I mean? Because you're going to buy it anyway when it runs out. You know what I'm saying?
I look at it like this, right? Should you have to pay? I would say back in the day, no, and I would say they were screwing me over. But then as I got a little older, I started thinking a little bit more. I'm like, what if, this may sound weird, but I started thinking, what if I made the Xbox? I want to charge people. Would I be wrong? No.
As a businessman, no. Nope.
I mean, not even as a businessman. Just like, I look at it like this, right? It costs money to buy water. It costs money to eat food, which I think is retarded because there's enough food and enough water to go around where you shouldn't have to pay. People need water, food, shelter to live. Why are you charging me for this? This is just the world we live in. They charge for your necessities. So when it comes to someone charging me to play on their shit, Xbox Live, PSN, I just look at it like this, right? If I want to use their shit, this is their rules. And their rules is I gotta pay.
Yeah.
Or I have the machine and I get around it, which you can't do that, but I'm not finna do that, so I gotta pay.
You're right. Because and I get the people fall in love with electronics. It's very weird that happens. I can understand that, you appreciate the time you have with it and stuff like that. You might think it's great, but to actually fall in love with it and then for your opinions to become biased on a piece of electronic, to me, that's a little weird. Especially when it's money that you're working for. So I just haven't heard anyone in the community really discuss or have an outrage about the increase in price, because essentially what Sony's doing is saying, we know you love us this much and we're going to take advantage of it. And one day when we raise it to $120, you motherfuckers are going to love me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Yeah. Well, no, finish what you're saying. I don't want to cut you. I mean, cut you off.
Yeah, that's what happens when you accept things for how they are. That's what happens, and then the fuckery is going to continue, because believe me, it ain't going to stay at 60. It's going to bump up eventually. Not next month, maybe not next year, but eventually it's going to bump up, and they're going to keep bumping it up, and they're going to keep making excuses. We accepted DLC. We bitched about it, but we accepted it. And look what they're doing with DLC now, for the majority port or
and season
portion of it.
passes.
We don't even get a fucking manual anymore. You know, I mean,
Manual no more. That slowly faded away.
So you're paying $60 for digital games with no case
This was
yes.
or disc.
one thing I gotta say. Dark Souls. When I bought Dark Souls 3, I was like blown away. I believe this was
Well, hold on,
Dave, From
wait.
Software is a true developer.
One white Colin
They
just
gave
asked
you
me a
a
question.
manual. That's crazy. I don't even see that shit.
That's because it's From Software. They're a good developer
Right.
and they stay true to heart.
You
But
guys
isn't
hear
that
me?
crazy? Like, you don't see that stuff normally no more. You know, like, I like manuals. I just like to get shit when I buy shit, you know?
Hold up. One white Colin just asked me, how would I like it to? What do you say? What if you
Buy
pay
water
pay
or
for
something.
water going into your house, then you pay to drink it? That once again, what I said was this is Xbox and Sony's machine. Why would I have to pay to drink the water I already paid for in my own house? Unless that was my rule that I paid, then I guess I gotta pay myself. It's my house. Who am I paying? Myself? It doesn't even. It's not making sense. What I'm saying with Xbox Live and PSN is that they charge for online. This is the reality. Now, there's not enough people that is going to say, hey, we don't want this. So at this point, if you want to use your systems online, you just got to pay until enough people come together and say, we're not paying, and then they stop it. And even
Right.
then, if enough people come together, they may not stop it. They may just say, well, fuck you, and pay it or don't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It just is what it is. It's just like, why not everybody stand up and say, we shouldn't have to pay for online for anything.
Like
You
they
pay your
did with
internet,
the
you pay your internet bill. That's it. You don't pay for online for anything. Don't pay
like they
online
did with
for
the DRM thing when the Xbox One was revealed.
if enough people came together and said we don't want this, that's why that was stopped. Until enough people come together and say we're not paying for it. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, Thanos. They
Yeah.
raised the price too high. I think enough will. I hope enough will. Let me just say that. I don't. I hope. But
Yeah, and
you-
no, you're dead right. And you know, $10 is not high, you know, but it's gonna go up, and it might be another $10. It might be $5. It might be 50 cents next year. We don't know. But the thing is, it's like what I'm saying, is that question the things that you do. Like when you're paying for something, when you're defending something, first question why you're defending the fucking thing in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, people in this community, and I'm a victim. Well, I'm not a victim. I also do it too, where no one listens, but everybody has a lot to say. Everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to listen, and that's a community that's fucking divided. So I mean, we're so focused on green versus blue and Xbox versus Sony and all that, and we never once look at how we're getting fucked in the end overall.
the thing I don't understand is if paying for online was such a big deal, then nobody should charge at all. If that's how gamers feel, the ones that feel that paying for online is a big issue, then nobody should charge, or they shouldn't support anybody that does charge. Now, me,
Yes.
I was in that standpoint at a point in time. I was like, I'm not paying for online, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? If I want to use this shit, this is just what's going to have to be. That is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nothing you can do about it. There's a lot of things in this world I think I shouldn't be charged for, but it's just like, yo, at the end of the day, if I want it, I need it, I gotta pay. If that's
Like
what it
taxes.
costs.
See, that right there shows you. That right there shows you how powerful your addiction is. And that's what video games are. They're an addiction. If I can't get it, if you're gonna charge more, fuck it, just give me it. I'll pay. Just give me it.
Slow your roll, slow your roll. So I'm not paying. I don't even pay full price now for this shit. I pay mostly $20 for my year. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's I don't even pay 60 for a game. The only time I pay 60 for a game is if
Yeah, there's plenty of
oh,
places to go where you don't have to pay 60
yeah,
for
yeah.
games.
If I pay 60 for a game, like I really like, and no, because even then, those games I can find cheaper. The only reason I pay 60 for a game is if I was still in that mindset that my money for that game went to the developer, but I know it doesn't. It goes to whoever I bought it from. So at that point, I don't even like. The only time I pay full price for a game is if I
Probably
just
Nintendo
honestly.
games, right? Because some of they go directly to them, right?
Like I said, the only time I pay full price is if I wanted day one, and for the console. If I'm buying physical, finding it cheap physically, it's not that many locations for physical.
Yeah.
Digital on PC, oh yeah, you can find shit for dirt cheap all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then you got the
So
people out there who just pirate the game. You know, they don't
yeah,
even care if it's
Well, no,
broken
no,
or
like,
not. You
like,
know.
like what I'm saying too is, it's like, I can't use you guys as an example because it's too hard. Like, it's too educational. You're right. You guys already know how the industry works. I was, let's say, the masses. You know, your average gamer who don't know what the fuck CD keys or Green Man Gaming or G2A or any of these websites where you get fucking huge discounts. You know, they don't know any of that. They're so used to turning on their console and boom, they just purchase it there. Or they go to their local Walmart, Best Buy, Target, etc. And they just buy it that way. You know, and that's the thing that we're we're a small number. We're a very small percentage of people that know how the industry works, and we see the fuckery coming later on, but we're outnumbered by the masses, and the masses, they get to delegate and or dictate how the market's going to go, and we have to sit by and fucking watch it. That's why if digital gaming becomes the shit, if the consumers, the majority of the consumers decide digital gaming is going to be the future, the people who like collecting, kiss that goodbye, kiss it goodbye. There's nothing you can do. You outnumbered. You outvoted.
Hmm.
You know.
and
So
even
I mean,
and
what
even
what is the next fuckery, Grim? What is the next fuckery?
I
What?
mean, I don't in the near future, I don't think the soon to come next fucker will probably be some lawsuits because some people's eyes are going to be bleeding from that VR. But other than that, I don't think anything in the near future is really going to come. But I said this a while back, right? A lot of people want people to just drift to PC, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
going to be funny as shit though is if when people drift to PC, if enough people with the console mentality come to PC, and these companies take that console mentality and try to do the console shit on the PC, and those console dudes that drifted don't adapt the PC mentality in full, like as in like, oh, I'm not paying for online or this that, and the third, and they start to do it, and your PC becomes console like that, I can see happening. Hopefully it won't, because hopefully enough people will educate
Oh.
them. But
So
I
you're
can
saying like
see
if the
that
if the
happening.
majority of the council guys adopt PC,
But they
they're
don't do.
also
But
going to bring the practices over to
if if
PC as well.
if the companies bring the practices over, like think about it,
Oh
PC
shit.
console guys pay for Plus, they pay for
Yeah,
Xbox Live, right?
yeah.
If there just becomes a shift, not a gradual shift, because if it's a gradual shift, then it won't happen. But if it's like a, oh fuck it, next generation we're all going to PC, you know, and Xbox comes over and says, we're going to charge for Live. Well, they're already used to paying for Live. Okay. Oh, PlayStation has their own app and their own store. We're going to charge for Plus. We already pay for Plus. Okay. And all your games that you had before, your Plus games, they come over with you if you pay. So even if you don't want to pay, you're like, fuck, I want my Plus games back. Okay. And I can see that happening. But that won't happen for a long time. I don't think that happened.
Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, we didn't see the Neo or the Scorpio coming either. You know, we can only see the Slim. We didn't see anything past the Slim. And the Scorpio and the fucking Neo, was like, where the fuck did this come out from? And Dave was one of the biggest advocate about what the fuck is this? This, a mid-grade
Yeah.
jump, and when did this happen?
Yeah,
A,
what if they say you gotta pay? We're using stronger hardware, so you gotta pay us more.
a lot of people, don't see shit coming. You know, they say, well, look in the past, it didn't have, and what's crazy is if you look in the past, like look at things that didn't work in the past. One day, it might fucking work depending on the environment, but depending on the people. The people could
Yeah,
have changed. Where now it
yeah,
can work. Like think about it. If like, let's say look at computers when they first came out. They weren't as popular. They were really expensive. Even though computers, I mean, you can find one cheap now, but computers were expensive. Nobody wanted them. Blah 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 blah. As time went on, people changed. The economy changed. People's mindset changed. Everybody wants a fucking computer. Now nobody wants a computer. They want a fucking tablet. So it may come a day where everybody's like, "Fuck it, I'll pay for online again on my PC games." I mean, they already do it with MMOs, especially seeing as a lot of games are becoming MMOs. What's
yeah.
stopping them from just making a bunch of games as MMOs? Call of Duty turns into an MMO. They put it on the PC and charge you online.
Yeah, and then to take into consideration, Nintendo can come and be like, well, we're going to charge for the service, and I would think that a majority of people have been conditioned enough to say, well, fuck it, we're paying for PSN and Live and Netflix and all this bullshit. Fuck it, why not? What's another one, right? What's another one?
Like any of these services, like at least for Netflix, you could say those are Netflix servers. They cost money to maintain, so that's why you're paying for online, right? Or paying for them to stream it to you, right? It wouldn't just be free
Mhm.
streaming. What is it like with Sony and Microsoft? The only thing I think that's theirs is their IPs, right?
Yeah,
Um, their infrastructure, I guess, their online infrastructure. Obviously,
yeah,
to keep that running costs money. So is that what they're charging to you to keep that running? And if you think, and when I think about it, right, they are blocking me from playing online. That's the bullshit part, the
yeah.
blocking.
I
But
know.
if they charge you not for the blocking, just to keep the shit going, right? Keep
Yeah.
Xbox Live running, all that. But even then, if they just did it that way, right?
Hmm.
How could they not? How could they let you online for free if they're charging you just to get on live? You know what I'm trying to say? If they just charge you for the things that Live covered and PlayStation Plus covered, when still they have to block you from being online, can you think of a way they could charge you, but you can still get online for free? Because would that work?
I I'm not like that's the shit. Like I'm not gonna pretend to be a businessman and I know how the industry and the inside works. But from what I've gathered, uh, the thing that pays for the service is when you have a high traffic of people, ads will come in and they actually pay for the service because that's their advertising to the majority of the people. That's how we get CBS for free. This is how we get CNN. Like those are you don't have to pay for that.
Hmm.
Um, and things of that nature is where ads come in because they want to come in and they're willing to pay. A perfect example is like the Super Bowl. I mean, they spend millions of dollars on these ads because they know a lot of people are going to watch it, and through that money is how you will be able to pay for the service, kind of like League of Legends. You don't buy League of Legends. It's a free game. There's items in there that you can pay for, but it's optional. None of that's mandatory. If you can't help yourself, that's your fucking problem. I'm not saying you, Grim.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
know.
just yeah, I'm just saying in general. Like if you can't help yourself, that's your fucking problem. But it has become one of the biggest MOBAs out there, and there's so much advertisement because it has everybody's well, not everybody, but it has a huge majority of the people's attention. So you see all these ads, and because recently I've been seeing ads on fucking live. I was like, what the fuck is that? If there's ads on live, then my subscription fee should fucking drop.
Oh,
But it's
Xbox Live,
not.
right?
Right,
Oh yeah,
Xbox
yeah.
Live.
They've been having up ads since what is it? One of the 360 updates where it looked like it almost looked like the Apple menu or some shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they've been
Yep.
having ads since then. I mean, I look at it like this, right? Whenever I don't want to play online no more on my console, uh, I won't be paying for Plus no more. Live though, that's a different story because the games I get to keep when it comes to the 360 games.
Yep.
So I'm even if I don't want to play online no more, there might still be something where I'm like, you know what? I pay what $20 for a year, and I let the games rack up. Whatever, that's simple. Like I think if they gave you an incentive other than the oh I'm gonna block you from playing online, then I think a lot of people will have like if they change Plus and they change Live where it was basically you're paying for the games you get
Yeah.
and you're paying for you're just paying for the games you get, kind of like how Plus was in the beginning. I think most people wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're just
I
paying
agree.
for the games.
Yeah.
If you
What
want
what
those
uh,
games.
what about the whole thing with now it basically being isn't it the same price now as Xbox Live, 59.99?
Yeah, if it's 60 for a year for both, but
Yeah, so I'm basically Sony saw people were paying that for Xbox and they're like, we have pretty much the same service, we're gonna get that too.
yeah. And also I'm thinking because I was thinking, what is Sony doing to charge extra $10? And I heard that Sony's going to be enabling 60 frames per second streaming.
Yeah, that's in their new update. I see people that already have it. They have 60 frames on there.
So the question is, how much did that cost to do that? I don't fucking know.
See, they see
Yeah.
Microsoft getting it too. They want $60 too. Whatever that they just want what the other one's getting. That's it.
You gotta think about a lot of this shit. How much does it cost? Because you don't just pay for the online. Like I think the online shit is like the if they charge you for everything else, right? It would feel different. That online shit makes you feel like you're fucking me over, right? You're blocking my online. But when it comes to stuff like the OneDrive and all that shit and that storage, that digital storage, that costs something to keep that running
And they're still running PS3 and Vita online as
for
well.
free. They're running that for free. And I don't know, like back in that generation, I'm pretty sure anytime Nintendo and Sony gave you free online, that costs money to keep up and run. And those systems didn't have advertisement, for what I remember. Uh, so you were getting it free this whole time. The only thing is that that charging for online is what people have because they feel like, well, you're not using your own servers. If you were using, so that's the question. If they were using their own servers, would people be fine with paying for online then?
Well, I mean, what they could have done was they could have provided that service for the people that were paying 50 for the last almost 3 years, but they chose not to. What they also could have done was say, hey, if you want 60 FPS, you have the option to pay a little bit more. No, they didn't do that. What they decided to do was like, we're gonna make all of you pay.
Hmm.
Even for the majority of people that don't care for 60 FPS and don't even want it, don't have no interest in streaming whatsoever, we're gonna make you pay too.
Hmm.
So they had options. I think what they did was they found or they're hiding behind the excuse. Kind of like when they pass a bill, they titled the bill really nicely, like "Let's help all the children," when in fact it's all about just gathering money and more money into politicians' pockets. That's all it is. To me, that's the impression I get. But I mean, I could be wrong as well too. I don't know.
I'm trying to cause for me, like I said, I used to feel the same way where it was like, oh, they're charging me for online, they're fucking assholes, da 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 da, and I just started to realize, listen, and it's probably because I'm looking at it from a business standpoint and a consumer standpoint. I can't how would you say ignore one of these sides and play on one of the sides, right? From a business standpoint, I feel if they want to charge you, they charge you. Now you as a consumer have to make the decision: do you want to pay? And if you don't want to
Yes.
pay, then you don't pay.
Well, how about this for a question that will reflect? Is paying $60 a year for PSN and Xbox Live to you, out of all your years in this service, right now to this day, is it worth it?
For me, is it worth it? Is it worth what I'm getting? Um, well, you got to remember, I don't pay 60 for a year. I'm
Hmm.
paying at the most, I will pay 30 for a year, and that's if the deal, like if I'm running out of Plus or Live and I want it, and the deal ain't $20 on CD keys, it's like 30, then whatever, 30, right? Uh, is it worth it? Yeah, because what I'm getting out of it, I'm enjoying my experience. I'm enjoying playing online. I'm enjoying having fun playing with other people. And the games I get for free with Xbox, and even though I don't keep the games that's free with Sony, it is nice that there are games that I would never probably have bought, so I get to play them for free, or not for free. I get to play them with no additional cost. Let's just say that, and I don't mind the service. It's fine for me.
Uh,
Because I look at it like this: the people that pay for like, I asked the other day, why do people pay? Why do people have not have a problem with paying for MMOs online? And they said, well, you get they have service maintenance and you don't get hacked a lot, and that's why they pay. And I'm like, I don't I don't necessarily hear any big grand red carpets explaining why you pay for that. It just sounds like you pay for it because they're charging and you want to play that game. That's what it really boils down to.
Or microtransaction in mobile games.
Yeah, there are certain mobile games, or certain free to play games where pretty much buying microtransactions is not even an option because you would just be so overpowered underpowered if you didn't do it. You're fucked. You might as well just not play the game because like it's first person shooters on PC like that where you don't have the microtransaction guns, you're not killing nobody.
Hmm.
So unless you just like dying in the game, you're not having fun.
Hmm. Well, any more on this subject?
Check out look for deals on the memberships.
Yeah, I just think, like I said, I think one sees one getting it, and it was bound before Sony jacked their price up. Now, if it goes up higher, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep paying, more and more money just to play online. I'll choose one system and go with that. That's probably when I'll become a fanboy or something, because I'm not going to pay two gigantic prescriptions a year. I'm not laying out all this money because I think it's just like a big money racket with everything. These season passes, online cost, it's ridiculous. So,
And by the way, oh my bad. I was gonna say, by the way, I don't think Nintendo's gonna charge because
well, the
do they,
thing,
do they have any online games to charge?
well, they haven't. Nintendo really hasn't broke it. If Nintendo does go the console route and decides to do like online gaming with a lot of their games and gets like an actual system that can do stuff like this, maybe they will. Maybe we'll see F-Zero online, or it's like they don't it's like they still haven't gone to online fully yet. They've dabbled in it, but they're not there yet. Just like with the whole SD and HD thing, they went to that with the Wii U, but they weren't, they were still in SD. They're always kind of behind, and it just, to me, with online, Nintendo hasn't fully went into it. They don't have the party chat. They don't have the. It was like, look how the Mario Kart was, how they had the lobby where you talked and stuff. It wasn't like they were. I don't know. It's just like they're not fully into it yet. I could see if they have a system up to par with a good online infrastructure, then you might see that. Then you might see DLC and all that, because one's going to do it, the other's going to follow. Just how it is. But one last thing I want to talk about Nintendo. Going back to Nintendo, they did a direct basically on the 3DS. Did you guys care for it? I didn't get to see it. I know
I liked a lot of the games they showed.
It was amazing.
it was amazing. What
It
was
shows that
amazing?
they're not. It shows they're not giving up on 3DS because next year they have a lot of games coming out for it. Because everybody thought they were gonna throw the 3DS away and not make games for it anymore. But they got games for it.
What was amazing about it though? Like, what was the games that you guys liked from it?
Mario Maker,
Pokemon.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World. I want to pick that up.
I had no interest in Yokai Watch, but that game looked really good.
Yeah, you can see how it's mooching more off of Pokemon because that's pretty big over there in Japan. Yokai Watch is growing.
What's that RPG where it looks like they're in Egypt?
Oh, you talking about Ever Oasis? That's the guy that made the Secret of Mana games.
Yeah, that game looks good.
I'm picking that up. Dragon Quest. Those two games look great.
The only game in the direct that I didn't care about was that Disney game. That's pretty good. If every other game I like.
I didn't really care for that Animal Crossing because they said they're going to hold the direct for that game. I don't really understand that.
And that Mario Sports game seems like it's going to be like almost like a Wii Sports for the 3DS.
Okay. So the Mario Maker and then Yoki Watch, is that what it's called? Is that what you said? Or
Yeah, Yokai Watch.
Yeah, Yokai Watch.
okay.
No Pikmin
I
3?
didn't see the
Oh,
direct.
Pikmin?
I don't have a
They
3DS.
didn't take me. That was kind of interesting.
Pikmin look good.
They're bringing Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
Side scroller, yeah. It looked a little weird,
Well, they were supposed to make Pikmin 4, I believe, for the Wii U, and then that got pushed back or something, or wasn't that a rumor or something, or
They're saying it's on the NX.
So now with the 3DS, you can pick men and Smash Bros on the go.
Hmm. I don't know. Well, thing with Nintendo,
Thanos.
I don't know. I'll eventually get a 3DS maybe if they are gonna do like what Thanos is saying with the whole tablet thing, or if it's more a handheld than a home console, I'll wait for the NX. But if they don't do that and they do a traditional console, then I'll get a 3DS because I've been.
They did announce a new color, a new 3DS color. It's like purple galaxy color or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that Reggie was holding it, yeah.
But yeah, what did you guys overall think about the direct? What would you score it if you had to score it? Do you think it was a good one or?
Oh, I give it like a 9.
Okay, was that good? Damn.
I'll give it a 9 too because I play my DS a lot and I really like it.
Okay. And Thanos, where are you at with the whole handheld? You're not big into handhelds, right?
I don't play the Wii because I'm not gay.
I don't. If I don't have it, I don't like to really talk about. I'm not totally against handhelds. I just haven't played a handheld really since I've tried. I had the PSP and I wasn't. I gave it to my nephews. The last one I really can say I played was the Game Gear, and that was long. But I will eventually get probably a 3DS if it don't that stuff don't go on with the NX, and the NX is a home console, more of a home console. But I will eventually get a 3DS. But
It's good, man. As long as just keep supporting the 3DS, it's a fucking great platform. I have one. You know,
mhm.
it's the only thing is like when I saw it, because I haven't turned on my DS for 3DS for a while. But when I like saw the videos and the demonstrations, I don't know why, but the first thing that popped in my head was it's time for an upgrade. You know, they really need to come out with a newer handheld because I mean, there's Android games that are looking much better than these games. And I know it's not all about looks; it's about the gameplay and the functions. That's what Nintendo fucking masters. That's where I think their success actually comes from is how fun their gameplay is and what they can do in such a little small platform. But 2016, I think it's time for a new handheld and new possibilities and new visuals and shit like that. Because with especially with a handheld, with the more power, they're able to do more and add more features into the games. We should make it more enjoyable for everyone.
They
Mhm.
might,
I don't know why. I know it's real shallow. Forgive me. But that's just the first thing that popped in my head was it's time for them to upgrade that fucking handheld.
Huh. All right, guys. Well, I think it was a good podcast. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I think everything's pretty much good, right?
well, the only thing we could talk about is, do you want to talk about what Hip Hop Gamer said?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know what he said. What did he do now?
that
What?
PC gaming is not free because you have to pay for internet.
You have to pay for internet.
Which, you know, it's a true statement.
The way he said it.
It is. I don't know what I don't know what like I understand. Trust me, I get it, but it doesn't change the facts. It's a true statement. It's not free. Gotta pay for my internet bill and my electric bill, and I gotta buy the game and the computer and have a
Oh
house.
yeah, we had this conversation, and my
Yeah.
answer was, um, fuck, what the fuck did I say?
Well, you don't have to pay double. That's what you were saying, and
Oh
and
yeah,
that's also a true statement.
yeah, a service on top of another service. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
It's a true statement. Well, you gotta think about it, right? Is your electricity a service?
Yeah.
And you paying your internet bill as a service.
Yeah.
There's a service on a service,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I pay for a while, that's a service on top of service on top of service, right?
Yes.
True statements.
Yeah. It is, and that's the thing. A product. The product is worth whatever the consumer is willing to pay for. That's the shit. You know. But like PC gaming is not free because you have to pay for online gaming. Well, gaming is not free because you have to pay for the game.
Unless you steal it.
That's
No,
true.
it's not called stealing. You got to borrow it.
Borrow it.
You borrow it from a digital friend. Um, but yeah, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because gaming is not free. I mean, you got to pay for the game. And then what about the games that are free? Well, you need a online service, so you got to pay for the online service.
I think after the cast, unless you want to talk about it now, I still because we brought it up. I brought it up, and I basically just got a very maybe there's nothing to it. Like I'm still trying to figure out why because that's one of the biggest benefits of playing on PC. You don't pay extra for online, but the games that do charge extra for online, Maybe it's because I don't play them and I don't know what they offer. But and I tell people I don't play MMOs. I'm trying to figure out, well, why do you pay for those? And from what I'm to understand, it's really just boils down to they maintain the server. Well, I mean, if that's the case, which is something they should be doing anyway, I mean, the games that don't charge you extra online, I'm pretty sure they maintain the server. At that point, it just sounds like to me you're paying for online for this game because you like this game and they charge, and unless you don't want to play it, you got to pay.
Yeah. But I mean, with that additional money, so let's say you're paying $10, right, for the subscription fee.
Uh-huh.
How much of that money are they pocketing, and how much of that money they're putting back so the community can benefit from? Some companies would take all $9 and put $1 back for the community. To me, I think Blizzard is, what they do, as far as World of Warcraft. We've been playing this game for 10 years, and this is the best expansion I've ever seen World of Warcraft do. Every expansion, the game just gets better and better and better, bigger and bigger and bigger. Not only that, just World of Warcraft, but they did Heroes of the Storm. On top of Heroes of the Storm, they did StarCraft. On top of StarCraft, they did Hearthstone. On top of Hearthstone, they did Overwatch. You see where I'm going? With
Got your online subscription help pay for these other games.
Tremendously.
So how much of PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live goes to another exclusive they make? I don't know.
Fuck. Yeah, that's the shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How much of that money actually goes back to something that's gaming related? I don't know.
Yeah.
How much is being pocketed? I don't know. Like that's why I think that's why I tell people, listen, like I was having a discussion, what's anti-consumer and what's not. I said, well, I don't think anything's anti-consumer. It's more of maybe you're just not one of their customers. Because what's anti-consumer to you could be fine for someone else. Does that mean they're going against their consumerism? I don't think so. It's just that they don't mind paying or they don't mind doing whatever. I just think this, right? And maybe I come from this standpoint because I have sold things. And I was in the position where I had to sell stuff and blah 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 blah. I'm not going to get into all that, but when I think about it, I'm just like, at the end of the day, because I remember used to people complain to me, I charge too much. When I was in high school and even in college, I sell food. I make a little hustle selling food. I charge too much. Well, go to the vending machine. I'm not a dick. I'm just like, well, don't buy from me. I'm not changing my price. Don't buy from me. Why are you charging $1 for one honey bun when they're two for $1? Because I'm smart and you're hungry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard and that's the shit. As gamers, we only get a certain perspective, and I think it's a very, very minute, very, very tiny perspective on the bigger picture. Like, for instance, there's games that have online features that don't require online, and for all we know, the only reason that they put online is so they can track how you fucking play the game.
Hitman.
And therefore, they can make the next game better. And if they see, like Call of Duty, like I said the story before, I read an article where Call of Duty, where they saw that the majority of people who were playing Call of Duty weren't playing campaign. But we as consumers will bitch, hey, why are you not putting a bigger and better story in? Well, because you motherfuckers don't play it. So we focus on the multiplayer aspect. So when they invest millions upon millions of dollars on campaign, and it's not even being played or used or whatever, that's money that they're throwing away. That's something that they could have used to make the next game probably just a little bit better. Or they could have bought a bigger yacht. We don't know.
Like if we think deeply about it, right? Should a company charge you for the same game again? For example, if you take a game like a Batman Arkham City and go to Arkham Origins. I love Arkham Origins. I don't know why people hate that game, but pretty much Batman Arkham Origins was, for the most part, reused almost all the assets of Arkham Knight. It was pretty much a reskin. but they charge you the same amount of money as if they put in the same amount of work. So, but no one complains about that. If you look at one of my favorite games of last generation, Mario Galaxy, go from Mario Galaxy 1 to Mario Galaxy 2, they said if the Wii could do DLC, that's what it would have been, but it just couldn't do it. So they made another game. They use the same assets. They just made new levels. It made a new menu system, and you know, they didn't do a bunch of work, but they charge you $60 as if they did. No one complains, because at the end of the day, they want that product. The product was good. That's all they care about.
Yeah, and they could, and they fucking will, because we as consumers, do we not ask for remakes? And not only that we ask, but do we not buy them? You know, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a good portion of people that are going to go out and rebuy Skyrim.
Mm-hmm. I'm not, because I'm getting
I still have my copy on PS3.
Like a lot of people, I remember Joe, the Apostle Cal, was saying, well, why don't we get it for free on consoles? I was like, that's a little different, Joe, because on PC, that's pretty much a reskin they're doing, and you already have the game existing on PC, and they're basically just re-releasing a game with modifications enabled to you again. Whereas on your Xbox One and PS4, if the game was available for those systems already, then I could get what he was saying, but it's not.
Yeah.
If it was already available, then I would get it.
Well, they're coming out with Resident Evil 4 again.
Well, they dropped that.
And you know what? I have Resident Evil 4 on PC, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the Wii version anymore. I like the Wii version. I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna buy it for one of my consoles because I just want to. I want to play it on that system.
They're doing it with the Dead Rising games as well.
I love Dead Rising. I'm buying them all again.
And the what's the other one that there's one other remaster that's coming with Dead Rising too.
BioShock.
BioShock, yeah.
Oh, the collection.
And Mass Effect, right? Aren't they doing Mass Effect?
I don't know if they're doing Mass Effect. They're doing the Ezio collection though. They're doing the Ezio collection.
Oh, for the Assassin's Creeds?
Yep, they're doing Ezio's, all of Ezio's games, which is 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. I might get that too. Not at full price.
No, I might get them.
Not at full price, I won't, but I'll get them eventually.
Mm-hmm. Going back to Joe the Apostate Cow, this is the last topic actually I want to talk about. I was going to make a video on this, and I didn't get around to it because I don't know the guy very well, but I've watched his content since you introduced me to his channel, Grim.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen he put up a video, fuck you and goodbye, and I've seen this before from him. I'm not saying anything bad towards the guy, but do you think that some people can't handle YouTube?
Yeah, but I'll say this too, right? Joe has done this so many times.
That's what I'm saying.
And I like Joe. I like his opinions on things, but Joe, even with me, for a couple of times, he jumps the gun, right? Just based upon a comment, based upon an opinion, right? I don't say nothing rude to nobody around here, so you can't say I called Joe a dick or something. I didn't do any of those things. He just flips the gun. That's just how he's a loose cannon, I guess you could say. But this is the thing I notice about Joe. Almost every time he leaves, because he deletes his videos and he do them so quick, he says his last video, people were getting on him. I never get to see it. So at this point, it happens so many times, he keep coming and going and keep having this. I'm thinking to myself, is anybody saying anything to him? Because I know recently he's been, what do you call it, disabling comments. But apparently he put a video up where he was unboxing the Xbox One customized controller from the design lab, and he said people didn't like it and they were getting on him for it. And I'm just like, I wish you would leave the video up so we can see this, because at this point I'm kind of second guessing, like, is anybody even saying anything? I don't even know anymore. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I would not tell Joe to come back.
Well, it kind of goes with a lot of people on YouTube. It ain't just Joe I've seen this with. I've seen this with a lot of people get pissed off and leave YouTube. It's not just him. That's what I'm saying. The guy's a great YouTuber. I do watch his content from time to time, but I just think he's one of them guys that just can't handle the comment section and YouTube. It just can't handle it. Can't handle any type of criticism. I guess is that what you'd say it would be? People like saying something, and I've seen it with a numerous amount of people. I've seen it with Gamer Nate. I couldn't tell you how many times he got fed up with YouTube and left. But the last time it was, well, he came back and then he decides to leave. But I've seen a lot. I've seen this video before. What Joe did. I've seen it many of other times with other people. And I just think is basically it boils down to is YouTube pretty much it's not for everybody, right? You'd say.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But I think some people get too into YouTube. There's different cases with people, but I think some people take this shit too serious with the comment section. You're always gonna have some asshole in your comment section saying something. You're never gonna get away from that, especially in the gaming side of YouTube. But what do you think, Thanos, with people that have basically minor breakdowns on YouTube? Do you think it's for everybody?
That has a breakdown on YouTube?
Well, basically has like minor breakdowns. That's what I call it. Some people just like you have an example like Gamer Nate he couldn't handle the feedback with people at times, gets pissed off and leaves. Maybe it isn't a breakdown, like just gets irritated with YouTube. Fuck you guys, like the normal
yeah.
fuck you guys. This is my last video. Screw all you people. Blah 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 blah.
Right. I would say this: the greatest game I've ever played is Peoples. I love that game. I love playing Peoples. So I heard the video. He can't accept criticism, and it's not only that. It's one of those people. He's one of those guys that really, really, really cares about what people think of him. And people who are like that are people who are insecure. What that is, what are those insecurities? I don't know, but it's a sign. It's a symptom of being insecure. So it's just he's one of those people. He suffers from insecurities, and maybe it could have been something very simplistic. A lot of these guys, and I've said this, they're not hard to figure out. It's not as complicated as people try to make it be. It could be something as simple as that he was picked on school, and he just don't want to deal and hear negativity and he doesn't want to deal with people's shit, But that's the thing, that when you're in a public forum, open forum, no matter what you say, no matter what you believe, there's going to be an opposition. And you're right, like, people here on YouTube, there's a certain skin type you have to have. If not, then those people are quick to leave. They're very quick to leave. And sometimes it's not even negativity. You know what it is? You know why they leave? Because they didn't get the fucking attention that they wanted, and they choose to leave. It's no different than some people go here on YouTube. They go to great length and come up with some fucking elaborate lies just so they can be where they're at, or so they could be liked. A great guy, I'm gonna say his name, you know who the fuck he is. A great guy here on a long time ago, YouTube, and he mentioned it again not that long ago, but he said there's no point of lying, especially here on YouTube, because sooner or later it's gonna fucking catch up with you. Sooner or later, down the line, it's gonna catch up with you. Whether that's a week from now, fucking 2 years from now. Eventually, it's gonna catch up with you. And he even has a fucking survival guide. Read it. Go check out. Listen to the fucking survival guide.
This guy sounds familiar.
Yeah.
He used to sell food in school and all that,
Yeah, he has no emotions.
have no soul. I heard this guy was a contrarian.
Yeah, so yeah, and then people like me, which that's one of my hobbies. I fuck with people, and if you let me get to you, then I win, But then everybody's different, like that's why people who like know me, they know that that's just my sense of humor. But the outside, like subscribers to me, those dudes are funny. They're funny, funny not like in haha, but funny in ew. Because they have a different perspective. And I've said this before, every YouTuber is an artist, and I can paint whatever fucking picture I want of you. And the subscribers, what do? They see the painting, they see the mural, and that's all they get to see. So they have a different, they only have that one perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So if Joe was around and if he would have caught my attention, I would have seen that and I would have fucked with him a little bit. You know, doesn't mean I don't like him, but just because it's funny, I find that funny that people who claim to be not so sensitive are the ones who are mostly sensitive. But for the most part, after all my years here on YouTube, for the most part, most of you guys and people out there, for the most part, are pretty fucking good, decent people. It's just a few of them. Um, there's a few of them, but they have a really loud fucking voice in this community. Really loud. For as small as they are, they have a really loud voice in this community. For the most part, most guys here on here are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
mostly
I
pretty
like with Joe. He's a good YouTuber. I've listened to a lot of his videos, and the guy makes a lot of sense. I just think he's not set for YouTube. I just think with people in the comment section, and there's a lot of dickheads in the comment section, you just gotta ignore them. And sometimes it is hard to do. Sometimes I can't do it. I'll go at people. It happens to the best of us, but I don't ever let YouTube get so much to me where I'm just completely done with it. Because if I leave, I'm like with video wise making content. The day I say goodbye, guys, with the channel, I'm done. I might be in the comment section, but I ain't gonna be sitting here fucking making videos when I'm done. It's just how it is. But it would, with me, with my channel, how many videos I've done, it'd take me a while before I would say, be wrapped up with it. But one day I'll be gone. I won't be here forever, I don't think. I hope
Yeah.
not. But yeah, they're just, I've seen that video from him before. I don't know what they did to set him off this time, but I guess he's tired of the console war, he said, and stuff like that. And people, I think that's what it was. This video, choosing sides and all that. But yeah, I just wanted to mention, I was gonna do a video of people just basically with YouTube, and if they're built for YouTube, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's from like what the little that I know of him, he didn't sound like one of those. Maybe Grim correct me, because he probably knows him a little bit more. But he didn't sound like one of those people that just perpetuate, propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Just full of shitness. I think he sounded like one of those people that when he spoke, he believed in the things that he was saying. And if you believe in something, you have to be willing to die for it. And if the outside can make you question your belief and you're quick to scatter, then yeah, you don't belong on here. Especially if you're one of those YouTubers that speak and believe what you're saying. Like you actually, have a belief system, a confirmation to convey these messages on here. But if you're easily broken, then I'm gonna throw boulders at your house. Not stones, just fucking boulders. But it happens. But
But yeah, that's the podcast, guys. I just wanted to add that little bit to it. I appreciate Thanos Salvatore for joining as always. Thank you, buddy.
thank you, Dave. Thank you for the invite, and I love being on here. And thanks to all the subscribers at Dave. Funny
Yeah, I
guys.
appreciate it. I'm just trying to figure out this WWE 2K. It's pissing me off. I can't figure it out.
Oh, fighting in it.
I don't know. I'm getting the hang of it now, but I can't figure out how to get out of a submission. I'm trying to figure out that. I figured out how to do some moves and stuff, but it's complicated. I used to play the old ones, but this new one's more of like a simulation.
Yeah.
So, but I'll figure it out eventually. Thank you, King Grimpachi, for joining as always.
No problem. I'm pretty sure people aren't going to like what I said about online gaming and paying for it, but we'll see where that goes.
You can't make everybody happy. Thank you, Frozen Magma, for joining as always.
No problem, and I'd like everybody to continue complaining about the PS Plus games because all the games that they hate, they want them for free. So yeah,
Oh shit.
because they want Killzone and Knack, but they hate the games. They say the games are garbage, but they want them for free.
When can we get Journey? Because they announced it, but I don't see it download it.
I think when does PlayStation update? Tuesday, right?
They got to get on that because Microsoft they update.
I don't know. I think
every
they.
day.
I think when it updates, when they update the store, they put it on there.
Oh, I think they update every Tuesday. Microsoft updates fucking all the. I don't even think they have a certain date. They just update.
But yeah, guys, that's the podcast. Be back soon. Thank you guys as always in the live chat. Appreciate all you Hydro, Video Game Lover 58, Late Gamer Review, Derek Fisher, Lewis Tiger. See who else is in there. I think it said video. Let's see. Joni, of course. Levon Cason. The list goes on. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Till next time. Later, YouTube.